Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jade Monkey. I'm here with Razor from RazorTube. Say hello.
Hi!
We are 2/3 of the Boyfriend Squad. It's also BioLazer as well. We are in a very special version of 108, or I should say DayZ 108. And don't worry if you're on the PlayStation and your version number doesn't catch up. This is the same version number that we track that the developers use. Just know we are in version 108 experimental, so some of these things could change, but we want to give you guys a heads up on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox DayZ players that with some of these building 2.0 changes, that are coming. I cannot talk already, so this is going to be a good one. So yeah, we're going over how to construct a wall currently and some of the changes that you're going to run into now. So again, a caveat. So let me go ahead and hit start so you can see the version number we're in. Again, this is experimental before the version hits the live branch for PlayStation and Xbox. Now remember, the internal version is 108. PlayStation, you guys are like on like 114 or something. Anyways, point is, this is experimental. There could be some minor tweaks. We are currently dealing with heavy desync. I don't know if that's going to be in the final release or not. Just keep that in mind. We're talking desync from like 104 days, if anybody's been around that long, so you know what we're talking about. But the building changes are great. The 2.0, they've really buffed the walls, the gates. It's all really, really good. So let's go over here and we'll start the process. All right, so right away you're going to need either a hammer or a hatchet. You're going to need some nails, and you're going to need a fence kit. A fence kit is just 2 short sticks and a rope. You combine them together in your hands to make said fence kit. And once you have the fence kit, you can reuse it again, so keep that in mind. You'll also need 2 large logs. We have them combined here. If I pick one up, there we go, we got them separated. And please note that as we construct this wall, our materials kind of sink into the ground. So that's kind of a... they're still there, basically, so don't freak out. You'll also need access to some planks, which you can cut down from a plank pile. You can find them all over the place, especially around Cherno City and in industrial zones. And you can use a hacksaw, you can use a handsaw, you can use a hatchet. I think you can use a hatchet, so keep that in mind as well. So when you want to place your fence, you place that fence kit in your hand. You go up there, there's Razor too. Go right up here till you see the 2 white markers. If you're on, well, I'm assuming you're on the Xbox or PlayStation, you hit up or down on your D-pad to do a rotation. Actually, I think it's just up. I'm going to actually not deploy it that way. And the side that's facing you is the interior, and that is very important, as that is the soft side, the only side you can deconstruct from, and there are very few tools to do it. I know previously, in the first iteration of building, it was extremely easy to deconstruct walls. It is no longer the case. So let's go ahead and pick up these large logs. Once you have them in your hands, you can go right up to the interior. You can see, as I look down with my reticle here, you can see that it says attach. Boop. And it is there. It's just that this floor is sunken down because of the warehouse we're in. Pick up the secondary log, place that down. We're looking at the fence, and if I hit the vicinity check, you can see that A, we have a fence that we can twill open up with using your thumbstick. I don't know what's going on. And then you can see the logs here.
I don't know.
You can either use a shovel or a pickaxe to then erect those logs on top of the base. Here on the interior, you can see right now, if I look, because I'm on the interior, it says hold right trigger. And I'm on the Xbox, so you know that they're virtually the same controller. And you can see that the pickaxe will erect those logs, the support logs, and then we can start from there. This is where you're going to take your supplies. You can see the fence kit popped out for us, which is really nice, so you can reuse it again. Now we go and interact with these different parts, go up and place these planks like so. Boom, 20 planks, boom. Do I have nails on me? Go in the back here.
No, I don't know if I have nails.
We're on a live server, so like RazorTube and I have had to fight.
Okay, super sketch.
Yeah, we had to fight
super sketchy.
tooth and nail to get this stuff. So box of nails, again, we're finding them a lot in cars currently, and obviously in industrial areas, and we are on Chernarus, and I'm just holding right trigger to open it up. You're going to have a piece of paper, so keep that in mind so people will know that you were there. You come out with 70 nails. I go into the interior like we did before, and I attach those nails. Again, since this is sunken into the ground, I'm going to walk up here, look at it, and you can see down at the bottom where it says materials, we have 70 nails and 20 planks. And we're going to be off to the next stage to build the various sections of this wall.
Yeah.
Watch the spawn zones. Alright, zombie. I'm scared.
Yeah.
Okay, so we had a really weird cut, and I'm a different character, but we're still building the wall. We wanted to show what, I mean, the server crashed multiple times. We said it was experimental, and we meant it. So if you look straight ahead under this canopy, you can see one of the wood plank piles. These are what the piles look like. You can find them in industrial zones. We are over by Cherno City right now. You can see the clock there in the main town. You can find them all over the place, and that's what they look like. You can use a handsaw, a hacksaw, a hatchet. Can we still use hatchets? I don't know if we can. But that's where you get the planks. That's where you cut them off, and we're going to go back downstairs to our wall construction. So sorry for the jarring transition. That was weird, for sure. It's like, hey,
Yeah,
we're different characters.
Not to mention that there was a guy like ripping shots when the server crashed, so we didn't know if he was near us either.
That's a weird one to get through. Okay, so we're still in the warehouse. We're just kind of going down. Yeah, that's a weird one. Sometimes you have to stand through it. So we're going to go back downstairs. I'm going to check the door real quick to make sure it's locked after, because I think the server crashed or it was a client crash. Anyways, hopefully by the time you guys get this in 1.08 for PlayStation 4 and Xbox, the live branch, we don't have to deal with this kind of stuff. But since we're in experimental Xbox 1.08, we have those issues sometimes. So we've seen desync and crashing. So just a heads up.
Yeah.
It's locked.
Desync at the level of 1.4, so
We
I
don't.
just don't want it to come through this.
Yeah, we don't know if it's going to be in that
update.
final version, but we do know that if these build updates come through, it's going to be really nice. Okay, so do a vicinity check here so we can all see. We're right where RazorTube left off. We actually, when we picked this up is when it crashed, so we're going to leave this over here as we think maybe we crashed it by accident. So if you look in vicinity check, we got 70 nails, 20 planks. Yep. Now you can use a construction hammer or you can use this here on the ground. A hatchet can be used for both chopping things down, or you can use the opposite end as a hammer. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Would you like to do the lower half, sir? Or would you like to do the upper half?
I'll do the upper.
Okay. I guess I'll start. I'll do frame, and then you'll do your upper frame. So, and feel free to jump in if I get this wrong, because I'm already thinking about the math and my head's going to explode. Okay, so when you walk up to the to the wall like this, with a hatchet in your hand, you can see that it says build lower frame. If I hit right trigger, it'll say build upper frame. I'm going to hit right trigger one more time, and now, oh, no, we're on platform. Whoops, I forgot. And then we've got lower frame. So I'm just going to do lower frame. And again, we're starting with 70 nails and 20 planks. I'm going to go ahead and hold this. Hopefully I get the right one, and this isn't glitched. Gotta tell you,
Yeah.
these new walls are stellar. Here you go. How many do we have left? Actually, that took what? I had to write it down. It took 4 planks and 8 nails. Is that correct? Yes. Okay, go ahead, sir.
And that's for the upper and lower part of your frame for your fence. So altogether, you're gonna have 8 planks and 16 nails combined. That makes entire frame. If you could do it, you might as well.
Okay.
I'll just give them the math while you do the work.
Fair enough. Okay, so real quick, a lot of people are asking. We do have separate raid videos on this. We're going to go through what it takes to break through the walls, because they definitely got a huge buff. But if you look here, if you have one of the construction tools, and you can no longer use a crowbar, but a hatchet and I believe a hammer, you can go up to the interior and it says dismantle. I think you can use a pickaxe as well. A pickaxe will also dismantle the interior, but you have to be very close on the interior. See if that works for you. See if you just get the prompt.
Yeah, you get the prompt for dismantling the lower wall.
Beautiful. And now that only dismantles the frame. It's not going to take these out unless you have a pick or a shovel like I do. But anyways, let me go ahead and construct this. So we've got the upper frame. Now remember, these come in 2 parts. They come in frames, upper and lower. And then they come in wooden walls, upper and lower. Or if you've got the money, you can do upper or lower metal parts. Just a quick strategy real quick. A lot of times RazorTube and we will try to take the beefier material and put it on the bottom. Or if we're really low on materials, we'll just put the wooden part on the bottom, because it's much harder to walk through the top or breach through the top. And because the idea is for the wall to stop somebody. So if you have the wall in the lower portion, it makes it much easier. So let's go ahead and look at this. This should have been, what, 4 planks and 8 nails. And what's the total for the frames?
So for both combined, it's 8 planks and 16 nails. And what he was trying to explain, too, is why you would make the upper half metal is because if they blow out the wood on the bottom and the red in your base, you're slowing them down because if I'm trying to crawl through the bottom frame, I have to either go prone or crouch to get in. And if the top's metal, it's a way more HP, so you're inherently like funneling them in, and they're going to be going at a lot slower pace when they're trying to raid you.
Okay, so we've got 54. We're going to do the lower wall portion, and we're going to save our metal for another piece. So if I'm just hitting right trigger to go through the different options, I have lower wooden wall, and that's what we're looking for, and I'm just going to hold the right trigger. I can never remember, because I've owned like all the PlayStations, but I can never remember if it's labeled R1 or R2. As you see right here, you know what I mean? Like I always flip it in my head, or I always talk myself out of the right way. So you guys know what I mean when I say right trigger.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there's just as many PlayStation players as there are Xbox players, obviously. So I mean, I want to make sure everybody knows. So if you look down here, you can see that we now have 44 nails and 7 planks. Now that one lower wooden wall costs 5 planks and 10 nails, on top of what we already spent for the 2 frames together that cost 8 planks and 16 nails. If that makes sense.
Yep. And then combined, the upper wall and the lower wall are going to be 10 planks and 20 nails. So inherently, you're going to be going up a total cost of 2 more additional planks than the frames, and then 4 more nails than the frames as well. So.
You know what's crazy?
Does that make sense?
No, you're totally right. Okay, there we go. Build upper wall. So be careful when you're looking at this. As you look at in the interior of the wall, I can't speak again, you'll see that it says both build, but if you get close, it'll say dismantle. So you want to make sure that you're not doing that. Quick note, and this will probably be in our raid stuff earlier or later in a separate video, but you can repair walls as well. So you'll have to make sure you have the proper amount of supplies. If you hit vicinity check here, you can see you'll have to have planks and nails, because you can see up here if we walk up to the front, and again this will be in a separate thing, but I just want to show you what this looks like. When walls take damage like this, you can see a visual change, and you can put supplies down here in that slot in the vicinity check, and you can use a hatchet or a repair hammer to patch this up if you're on the interior. I don't believe you can do it from the exterior. So there you go. Is this still locked? I'm so scared.
Which is, and also when you're going through what parts you're going to build, make sure when you're hitting right trigger not to be on the wrong piece build, you know? So just that's a quick FYI.
Now we went through enough.
Don't accidentally build a platform.
Yeah, basically, because the platforms are extremely useful for sure, and I know you did this in one of the other builds I did. That if you have this door like this, and again we won't talk too much on strategy because this is mostly construction, but if this door is open, if you stand on this platform, it makes it really awesome for just defending if somebody's at this doorway, if that blue door is open. So I'm over here picking up more planks because I believe we need some more.
Yeah, we broke.
Yeah.
And just a note too, on 1.8, it's actually a lot harder to gather materials, and the hunger in water depletes very fast.
Oh
now,
my
I don't
goodness.
make any changes to that, but it is absolutely difficult to survive. Like, it took us forever to get all this resources to make this work for you guys.
See if you can build that upper half there with this hatchet, or no, actually let me try. Sorry, we might have some desync here again. Okay, there we go. I had build upper wall.
Yeah.
Okay, I really hope they fix the desync. I do. Okay, build upper wooden wall. Here we go. And again, this upper wooden wall itself is going to cost 5 planks and 10 nails, just as a reminder. And look at that right there. And these have gotten such a significant buff. Like, this will hold people back. You have to use explosives, melee, lots of melee. You're going to go through lots of tools if you go the melee route, and that's if you just dent it a little bit. Explosions and shooting the walls will all work. Now remember, it's very much a collision thing, so if we shoot the top, it's only going to damage the top. And when this wall's gone, you're still going to have this frame on the interior, so you still have some obstruction, so you have to shoot the frame itself. And it takes a lot of bullets, so just keep that in mind. These are extremely useful for the new update coming for 108 for PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One for 108. And again, PlayStation 4, you guys will have a weird version. Just know that this is what the developers call 108, so I think you guys are like 114 or something, but just know that the next update you get in like July-ish or whenever this comes out. So
Yeah, and I think a new meta to this game, it's going to be probably storing a lot of tools, melee tools, and like sea chests and in cars, and make sure that you guys have like your sharpening tools and everything to repair your melee weapons, because these walls and the buff that they've got now are no joke. It can hold people back. I mean, even with some of the current issues in the game, it still can just really, really make your base super defendable. And if you layer it, it's going to be even worse for the raiding party trying to get into your base and get to your loot. Now, I would take like your expensive loot and jam it on your ult, and then use him as like a loot in the sky, as we call it, and you know, just save your good loot there, and then keep anything that doesn't really matter, like in the base, you know. But it is a significant buff. I mean, you would agree, right?
oh yeah, I think it's actually worth it to build these and use these in other situations. Like we used it before for tactical situations, but this building 2.0 I think is significant enough that you're going to see a lot more bases, and it's going to be a lot more difficult to break into. I think you'll be surprised at just how much it's going to take to break in, which is what it needed. I think we can all agree with that, and we've been waiting for these building changes for a long time. And again, RazorTube and myself, Jade Monkey, will both have rating videos for 108 to bring you guys up to speed, and we'll do the best we can because we're on a live server. We've tried to collect a lot of bullets and melee, so we'll see if we can actually break in. But it's got a buff, man. These definitely have an HP
Yeah,
boost.
it does.
All right. If you found this useful, helpful, be sure to drop a like on the video. It really does help out a lot. Be sure to check out the playlist for our DayZ, and also specifically the changes that came into 108 DayZ. And hopefully we see you guys in the next video / live stream. Yay, yay!